Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up. We'll get started with our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at 77 on Baldwin Road. Great people there. Run by, check out their programs for this fall coming up. Now, it's going to get warm again today. We're looking at it. It's going to get back into the 90s here along the coast, so you know what that means inland to all of you viewers over there. So it is going to be warm. Low tonight, 76, and the water temperature has gone up another degree. It's 87 degrees. That is warm, folks, for the Gulf of Mexico. So keep in mind our thunderstorm pattern. You know, this past 3 or 4 days, we've been having coastal thunderstorms, and you know, usually this time of year, the pattern has them inland where the sea breeze meets, you know, about 30, 40 miles off the coast. But we've been having a lot of coastal showers, and it really hasn't affected our river readings. If you take a look, the Choctawhatchee at Caryville, I'm sorry, let's look at Apalachicola first. That's been the same all summer. So we're reading actually at a 0.7. It did drop 1/10 of a foot, but that's pretty steady. But you know, the Choctawhatchee, you would have thought it was going up all the rain we've having. But a lot of it's not getting up in the northern part of our viewing area, so therefore we're reading a 1.7 at the Choctawhatchee at Caryville. The Panama City high tide is at 3:19 this morning, and our low tide is at 1:12 right after lunch. Okay, that takes care of our weather, and we'll be back with our special guest.
Your vision is precious. If an emergency arises, you don't want to be sitting in a hospital waiting room. Accidents and injuries can happen outside of your workday. That's why our team of physicians provide emergency eye care to our patients anytime, day or night. You can count on your local experts in eye care to be there for you whenever you need us. The Eye Center of North Florida.
9 doctors, 1 vision, yours.
At Panhandle Educators, we offer full-service banking.
We're 5-star rated.
A safe place for your money.
Find us anytime, anywhere.
Or come see us on Highway 77 north of the mall. On the east side, across from Rutherford High School.
Come see us at the beach on R. Jackson Boulevard.
We're here in Southport on Highway 77.
Live or work in Bay, Holmes, Jackson, or Washington County? You can be a member.
Join us. We'll take care of you.
Panhandle Educators Federal Credit Union.
Come join the Panhandle Outdoors team. Beat the rush and stock up on our team shirts and hats in a wide variety of colors and sizes. For your convenience, we offer a Panhandle Outdoors shop at panhandleoutdoors.net. Simply visit our website and click shop.
You can also check out our selection at Sunjammers Water Sports on Panama City Beach. Come join the Panhandle Outdoors team.
We are so lucky to live in North Florida. We have some of the best fresh and saltwater fishing in the world. My biggest problem is not catching fish, but trying to decide what kind of fish I want to catch. No matter what I'm after, I always stop at Sunjammers Water Sports first. They have just what I need: rods and reels, line, tackle, and most important, live bait. Yes, sir, we sure are lucky.
Welcome back, and welcome Captain Ken Paramore.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ken. We're sitting here talking about a big old red snapper. You remember that picture I showed y'all recently of Ken catching a big old red snapper? I did not realize. Tell me about that.
We were, it was a weekday right before the season closed, the Wednesday or Thursday after, before it closed, and we're about 18 miles southeast of the Panama City Pass, probably down off of Tyndall or Mexico Beach area, and we'd already got our limit of fish, snapper, and we were trying to catch a grouper. And I caught that big, it was a 30-inch fish, snapper, and I measured it just to get an idea, and that was actually my biggest snapper ever, was a 30-inch one, so I was pretty proud of that. And as I had it on the deck and was going to vent the fish and turn it loose, I noticed something sticking out of its back up by its, its fin, and I thought it was a piece of grass, or seaweed, and I went to pull on it because it had algae growing on it. So I pulled on it, it was stuck in the fish, and I realized it was a tag. So that fish had been tagged and released by our research people at some point in time, and so all three of us on board can't see very well without our glasses, so that tag is hard to read, but we did manage to get the number off the tag. There's also an 800 number on the tag that we couldn't read, but I did find it off of our webpage. And if you catch a tag fish and you get that number and you call that 800 number, it goes down to our research lab in St. Petersburg, and they have data of the history of the fish that were caught, tagged, and released. And so the lady told me that they would be sending me information on when it was caught and released, how long it was at the time, and in a close area of where it was caught prior to. And then they told me they'd send me a free T-shirt.
Oh, cool.
So apparently that's in the mail, but that program, you have to, or they ask that what did you catch it on, where, not exactly where, but close to where, how big it was at the time, and then they compare that data to the data that they took when they released the fish.
That's interesting.
So it was kind of neat, and I'd never caught a tag fish before, so that was pretty cool. And we did release her, so she's back out there somewhere.
That's interesting when you harvest something tagged or catch something tagged. To find out where, I never forget. Way back in maybe even the 70s, I shot some ducks up in Bayou George legally, but it had a tag on it, and it was tagged up in Indiana. And I just was fascinated. So they're going to let you know.
They're supposed to send me information back on the history of that tag, and then the information I provided goes back into their database because the fish was released. So it'll resurface again somewhere, maybe one day. But
that's cool.
That was kind of neat. Snapper season was really good for, as you know, most people.
It was a great snapper season, and we just kept everybody kept a lot of big ones. But here's the interesting fact right here. Ken shared this with me this morning. How about a large female snapper? And this is what most of us will catch it. But just to pass this on to you, on this drawing here, a 24-inch female produces as many eggs as 212 17-inch females. That's amazing because it's such a disproportionate, but that's according to your marine biologist.
Right. That statistic is on our webpage under red snapper in the marine fish section, and the data has shown that those big breeding sows, as they call them, those big large fish, are your egg producers basically, and one of those equals a whole bunch of other 17, 18-inch fish. And if you think about it, we all like to catch big fish, and we all do it, and we're not advocating turning them loose or not keeping them, but that's just a fact that's there. If you do keep big ones, they do have the potential to have more eggs than the smaller ones, and of course the smaller ones actually are a little better to eat and easier to clean. So it's up to the fishermen, though. They only allow us to have 2 fish, so they've taken that into consideration in that bag limit. So even if you do take 2 real big fish, you're limited on how many you can take, so the impact is less as well. But that's just a fact that bears passing on, actually.
And there's all kind of solutions, and I'm sure they're working on it. One I could jump to my mind, well, maybe you could keep 5 17-inchers and release everything over 20-something.
And see that, or have a slot limit, where you let the big ones go and the little ones go, but you have a slot. But all that's down the road. Yeah,
we're not saying that's a law or anything. That's just some possibilities. Okay, scallop season.
Scallops.
We've been a lot of us have sort of finally found some scallops, but y'all have actually written some more tickets.
Yeah, there was 1 or 2 last week, and then 1 or 2 the first week of the season. There seems to be always somebody who finds too many and keeps too many. And when we pulled up to one just the other day, there was 3 people on the boat, and they had 9 gallons of whole scallops, and they could have only had 6. And when you ask them, they act like they don't know, or I think it just gets too good and they can't help themselves, But usually the number of bag limit cases reflects the scallop population and how easy they are to find.
Yeah.
And the more scallops that you seem to be able to have and find, the more over bag limit cases that we usually make. So it's a good thing that we've only made 3 or 4 since it opened, but the scallops are actually down and not everybody's finding limits.
Normally, like say last year, about how many cases would y'all have had? About
10 to 12,
10
probably.
to 12, so you're down to 3 or 4. Yeah, that would be a good barometer, an indication of what's
maybe up to 15 at the most. And some of those cases are whole, and some are shucked and hidden in baggies. We find that too. But this year, they have to work pretty hard to find a limit, so your bag limit cases are down. But it's been a good season. It's not as dismal as we had thought at first, based on the data that was obtained before the season opened. And one thing I do want to mention, if it has, and I know it's been mentioned before, is the season's been extended by 2 weeks. So, and another different thing is this year the scallops are bigger now than they normally were this time last year. So maybe with this 2-week extension, you know, the ones that are there will be really decent size. And it might be a good latter part of the season this year.
And have you had a chance to go yourself?
I sure haven't. I actually was waiting on the barometer here to let me know, so I know kind of where and if it's worth going or not.
We've gone about 3 or 4. Well, we've gone 4 times, and the first time we didn't get our limit. 2, 3, and 4 we did get our limit, but we stayed out a good while and enjoyed it, and they were really good size.
Yeah, I've talked to some of my officers that have gone, and they haven't got a limit. They got enough to really have a nice, a nice mess of scallops, so it was worth their time and effort. So. I'm going to try to pull it off before it gets too far into the season.
All right, we're going to take this break, and we'll be right back with Ken.
Clay O'Neill's Land Clearing. When you need land clearing, pond digging, road building, or any type of excavation, Clay O'Neill's Land Clearing is fully equipped to handle it. If the job is big or small, he covers it all, serving the Florida Panhandle from Madison County to Escambia County. He's just a phone call away. Hey, thanks, Clay, for another job well done.
Harold Milling Company, rough and tough dog food. Harold Milling Company builds it. They build hog feed, they build dairy feed, they make chicken feed. They have specialty feeds for rabbits. If you got a worm farm, grandmother used to have a worm farm. Look at the Harold Milling Company. You want to go down and get you, the dog's not running anymore. That's all over with. You want to get that 16% and drop down from the 26% protein. You don't want over to get fat. Harold Milling Company, you can buy at almost any feed store in the Panama City area.
AMW Trailers, Austin Machine Work, trailer repair of all kinds. Folks, you always need to check your wiring. This is a great place to get it done, right here. Trailers of all sizes. Folks, check out this all-aluminum trailer. That's what they specialize in over here at AMW. You get one of these, you won't need to get another one. Going down in a big, blue, beautiful building in downtown Millville. Get you one of those new aluminum trailers and get yours fixed right here at AMW Trailers.
When you stop by Blue Water Outriggers, you will find everything for your outdoor adventure. Stock up on all your favorite brands and shop for some of the latest outdoor gear and accessories. You can also shop online and have your orders delivered straight to your home. Our flagship store is nestled right off the Highway 98 in the Port City Shopping Center, just steps away from the Port St. Joe Marina. You will love our selection, our prices, and our friendly service.
All right, welcome back. Sitting here with Captain Ken Paramore at FWC, and we got a couple of pictures we want to share with you. We've been good bait fishing and a good group of fishing. Let's start off with some bait fishing. This is our good buddy Bill Allen with a nice West Bay redfish. Good job there, Bill. He went fishing with the mayor, and Mayor Brudnicki. I don't know if they measure them. They both are nice looking redfish. These guys love to fish, and appreciate y'all. That was this past weekend over in West Bay. Okay, that takes care of the bait fishing. We're going to show you this picture here. And ironically, a good friend of yours.
Yes, he is.
This is Jim C. Owen up in Bonifay, retired FWC investigator, and you know him.
Oh, yeah, I know him well.
He used to work with you?
Worked with me for a number of years. I worked with him for a number of years, and just retired a few years ago, and that is one heck of a fish.
Let me read you this email. He said, Winston, I'm a retired FWC investigator, Jim C. Owen. I live in Bonifay. I've had the privilege of going offshore several times this summer with friends on a private vessel out of both Destin and Panama City. Look at that fish. Look at that, folks. We have had good catches every time I've gone. Ironically, on the last day of red snapper season, we had a very good day with gag grouper. The good day was topped off on me gumping into a really nice gag. It weighed 44 pounds and was 44 inches long. Needless to say, it was the best grouper ever. I watch your show whenever possible and appreciate the job you are doing promoting our area's abundant natural resources. Keep up the good work. Jim C. Owen. Jim C., congratulations on that.
That's a good job.
That is a fine grouper.
Fine fish.
That is fine right there. On a private vehicle. 44 pounds, 44 inches. And you got a picture to prove it.
Yep.
Okay, speaking of boating and all, y'all have had some incidents with some boaters under the influence.
4th of July week, as you know, 4th of July was on a Wednesday. So kind of the weekend prior, and then those 2 days in front of it, and those 2 days after it, and that weekend was kind of people's 4th of July holiday.
Yeah.
You know, some took the entire time, some took long weekends on the front, and some on the tail end.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for us, it was very busy, too busy, as far as the boating under the influence arrests. Our guys did 5 and maybe 6, if I remember correctly, boating under the influence during that 7-day stretch, which we had everything from people with the engine running, passed out in the boat, operating at night without their lights, sailboat underway with no lighting, and had everything the officer could do to get the boat, to get the captain's attention, put the boat in neutral to stop and talk to him. But one that really stood out was, it was after midnight one night, and our office got a call, our dispatch center got a call from a lady whose husband was out between the Hathaway Bridge and the Bailey Bridge with, I believe, their 3 children on board. And the children had been texting her and calling her on the phone, petrified that they were out there on their boat with their dad, who seemed to be intoxicated. And they were panicking, she was panicking, so she called us. And so we sent some officers, one by boat and one to the boat ramp in Lynnhaven, where we thought that they launched from. And about 12:31 a.m. they showed up, and I think we even heard that he'd got aggravated with the kids and threw one of their phones in the water because he was tired of them calling. But irregardless, we got him out of the boat, got the kids with their mother, and he blew a .30.
Wow.
Which it's almost to where you have to be hospitalized to be over, .30. So that's what, over three times the legal limit. And of course he went to jail. And I know Stan talked about it the other day, and we are serious about it. It's no different than driving a boat or a car down the highway. The lives you put in danger on the water is one thing, and then when you load your boat, you're going to drive home. So that's the other part of it.
Yeah.
And like I said, we had 5 or 6 over that 7-day stretch, and that's actually too many. But it's kudos to our guys for helping keep them off the water and getting them off the water, because they endanger everybody else who's trying to enjoy and trying to do it sober. So that's just a message on boating safety, is the drinking and boating needs to.
Yeah, no, I just never have understood it. I guess I ever will now. You're out there having a great time, just natural and all. Why you want to add alcohol to it is just beyond me. But they do, and I know y'all see it every weekend probably, and so y'all, just be aware of that. If you see it, just call these guys up. Just call FWC and report it, because you may save someone's life doing it too.
Yep, and we don't have any holidays in August, but we do have the Labor Day weekend, which is normally kind of the 3rd busiest, depending on weather, and school is back, and it's not as busy as the 2 we've already gotten past, but it is alarming that we do have people still drink and drive.
Yeah, and some people just want to party on the boat. I was reading somebody had a .21, a .12.
Yeah, one of them, 2 of them refused to blow, which is their right, but there is some sanctions when they refuse. There was a .21 and a .12 on the other 3. Yeah. So they're all almost double the legal limit of 0.8. Yeah. So the ones that we've caught have been the ones that were really intoxicated too. So it's just a message there about boating under the influence. It is pretty serious, and there is a substantial penalty, and you will go to jail.
Okay. All right. Now, on a more positive note, the gator permits have sold out, right?
Yeah, I know Stan was talking about alligators the other day, and I went through our webpage last night and getting a little data and looking at some things, but all the permits for the 2012-13 or 2012 season are sold out. I think there was less permits this year, but the ones that were available, and some areas were closed downstate because of the drought. There was no water in the lakes, or not enough water to allow the hunt. So, but all those permits were sold out, and the season runs from August 15th through November 1st, and it's broken into I think 3 sections or 3 segments. So alligator season will be coming up pretty soon as far as the ones who are permitted. Now, we always have those who open the seasons on their own and don't have tags and go on their own when they get ready, and that's a different story. But the legal season with tagged alligators will begin August 15th.
Okay. Have you seen, have you guys been running into a lot of guys out floundering at night? Are y'all checking out?
There's been some. I haven't seen any reports of any big cases or limits or taking too many or undersized. I know we've checked a few.
Yeah.
I think it's not peaking yet, like it will between probably now and October, I guess it is, when it's really
late summer, early fall.
Right. We need, those calm nights and the moon and it's been steady, but not anything to talk about that's really hot right now.
Yeah, most of those guys are pretty law-abiding, and
yeah, we don't have much trouble out of them.
Sometimes they're hard to figure out the size of them, though, when you look at
It's probably the hardest thing is figuring out when you're looking through the water. Is
that borderline, and once you gig them, it's hard to release them. You got to release them, right? You can't put them on your boat.
Right.
All right, let's take a final break. We'll be right back with Captain Ken.
When you think of a successful hunting season, two things come to mind: Browning and C&G Sporting Goods. Browning is the best there is, and C&G Sporting Goods is your factory direct, full-line Browning dealer. C&G stocks Browning guns, camo, knives, scopes, gun safes, bows, and much more, including hunting and fishing license. Look over the new Browning BAR camo short frame and X-Bolt rifles. Why pay good money for anything less than a Browning? Browning and C&G, the best there is. Home of the experts.
Are you still waiting to do something with your IRA, 401k, annuities, or other investments?
My dad has an economics degree from Vanderbilt University, and he helped me with my homework. A lot of people call themselves financial planners, but my dad passed a board exam to be a certified financial planner. He's very easy to talk to, and he spends a lot of time with me.
To my existing clients, thank you for your friendship and loyalty through these uncertain times, and to everyone else, don't wait until it's too late. Call me today, and let's see if I can help.
Bill Kramer needs to buy vehicles outright or take them in on trade. Our pre-owned business is great, and we need your vehicle this week to supplement our pre-owned inventory. Get a 15-minute no-obligation appraisal. We're buying Fords, Chevys, and Cadillacs. We're buying Toyotas, Nissans, BMWs, and more. You name it, we'll buy it. All years, all models. Nothing too old, nothing too new. Bill Kramer is buying them all, and we will not be outbid at Bill Kramer's Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC.
Sunrise to sunset. A walk through nature takes you on a journey of Florida's Emerald Coast. You'll encounter the wildlife, birds, lighthouses, indigenous to the beautiful land and seascapes of Florida, set to the sounds of nature and enhanced with easy listening music. Only $14.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling. NatureWalkDVD.com or send check or money order to the address on the screen. A walk through nature, visually stunning.
Welcome back. So here with Captain Ken Paramore, FWC, going over all kinds of stories, but we're going to finish a couple more. But let's first look at our express lane fishing game forecast for today, our peak times. Looking at this morning from 5:40 to 7:40, so you still got time to go out and wet a hook. And then this evening from 6:07 to 8:07, excellent time there. Early morning and late afternoon, two excellent times to go. I want to show you one more picture here. Got a picture of a young man fishing off the pier, and he was proud of this fish right here. This is Zach Murray with a 9-pound bonita. Now, bonita's a lot of fun to catch. You want to do something fun in the summertime, go out on the pier and catch one of those bonitas. 9-pound on the Panama City Beach Pier. Good job, Zach Murray. All right. And don't forget, next week, Amberjack will be, we talked about a while ago, Amberjack is opening, and we went fishing this past weekend, and we caught some nice amberjack, caught and released some nice amberjack with that. Talking about fun catching now.
Yeah, August 1st.
Amberjacks are fun to catch.
You only want to catch one big one, and you'll be done.
We always put a rookie on the boat. We always put a rookie on the amberjack, especially one who's gung-ho about going out and hadn't fished very much. And all right, this is yours, and they'll fight it. And
you won't but one of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of the pier and sharks, we received information a few weeks ago about a tiger shark that was caught off the, I think it was a county pier, and keeping tiger sharks are illegal. So we are looking into that, and it was late at night. But people that shark fish, we do encourage them to be up on their species identification and know which ones they can and can't keep.
Yeah.
So that's just a
Now, I'm going to show you a shark picture. First, this is not a local picture. I don't show a lot of pictures not local. About 99% of our pictures local. This is down in Boca Grande Pass where all the tarpon fishing is. And I got this on Facebook. That's a nice hammerhead. And they were trying to, they was chasing a tarpon and all, but they got up on the boat, but they actually had them subdued, it looks like, but I still wouldn't want to be that close to them. So
it's a big shark.
That's a big shark, and folks, we have big sharks here, and we have sharks in the bay system, so be aware of that. I know y'all seen them.
Yeah, the bull sharks particularly.
Bull sharks particularly, and that's sort of the nasty one and all.
Yeah, in St. Joe Bay, there's plenty of bull sharks.
The biggest shark I've ever seen has been in St. Joe Bay. It was about 2 years ago. It wasn't that long ago, about 2 years ago in St. Joe Bay. So it's a big bull shark. I just got back in the boat from Scalloping and was drifted over the channel, so they will scare you. Okay, we got some hunter safety courses. This is the time of year we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
this is the time of the year.
We talked earlier. It's not. Now's the time to get the pre-hunting season duties out of the way.
That's right.
You mentioned the other day planning, tree stand maintenance. Ronnie Groom was talking about safety and tree stand maintenance, and also your hunter ed class. We'd start these things. We've had a couple already over the summer, but it's hard to fill a class during the early summer. But yet, when people wait till it's hunting season, a lot of these states that have seasons before we do require it in order to get your tag or your license, and then it's a mad dash, to get your hunter education for either other states or for ours. When if you could get it, during the summer when there's a lull, you'll beat the crowd and you'll have it out of the way when it gets busy. But the classes in the summer don't fill up, but the ones from September on, they fill up. So what we're asking people is now's the time to get your hunter ed classes out of the way and all your pre-hunting season duties, because archery starts here on October 20th, which is right around the corner. Dove season will be probably the first Saturday in October, which is normally, we haven't received info on it yet because that's a federal regulation, but so we're within 2 months of having hunting start. So now's the time.
Yeah, we're talking about we're right at August now, and August will fly by. And the biggest thing is to make sure those kids get it and understand it when they're learning it all.
Right. It is a good class. It's even a good class to go to attend with the kids to get refreshed on things that they didn't teach whenever we went through
That's
it.
right.
Years ago.
Exactly right.
And it also supports them. The youth hunting movement is big and strong now. If you watch the outdoor channels and the sportsman's channels anymore, there's youth hunts. A lot of states have them now, including ours, and to get those kids out there, but also attend that hunter ed class with them. If they're under a certain age, we do encourage it, but you can also learn something and be there with them as part of them getting educated in it, and then go participate with them in the youth hunt.
There you go. Good advice there from Captain Ken Permore, and we always appreciate you coming on and sharing all this good information, and hopefully we'll cut down those BUIs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll
Glad
see you
to be
later.
here.
Thank you all for watching the show. You have a great day. Do something good for somebody, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.